Dr. Mamphela Ramphele Chairperson for the Archbishop Desmond Tutu Intellectual Property Trust, now joins us via video link just to get reaction. Ma'am, thank you so much for your time this afternoon. Let's firstly get your reaction then following South Africa's presentation at the International Court of Justice this morning, accusing Israel of violating the Genocide Convention of 1948.
I believe the Arch would have been very proud to be a South African, in that our country has stood up and championed action against the state of Israel that has gone beyond anything one could imagine in terms of responding to Hamas's attack on the October the 7th, by now visiting collective punishment on all Palestinians, women, children, civilians, journalists. It is what would have appalled the Archbishop. And therefore, I am proud as a South African to see that we as a country have taken the lead in getting the international institutions that have the responsibility to protect against violations of human rights, particularly genocidal violations. So I'm a proud South African, and the Arch would have been proud too.
I don't know how much of the hearings you were able to listen into, but, some of the presentations painted a picture of Gaza's resemblance of a grave site. Advocate Hassim SC told how 93% of Gaza's population faces crisis levels of hunger. How would you want the court to act, particularly as it relates to the interim measures that South Africa is seeking for?
I believe that the court has no option but to stop the abomination of not only killing those who have nothing to do with the attack of Hamas, but also to deny them the basic necessities of human life: food, water, basic healthcare. How can a civilized nation that is part of the international community commit these abominable acts of simply denying and bombing ambulances as they try and ferry the wounded? So urgent attention is needed by the international community. As Kofi Annan reminded us after the Rwandese genocide, the world has a responsibility to protect.
We've seen how, of course, South Africa, ordinary South Africans, in the main have supported the plight of Palestinians. We've also seen, of course, on the global stage how people have reacted. President Cyril Ramaphosa saying not too long ago, South Africa has acted on principle by taking Israel to the World Court. You yourselves, at the same time as the legacy organizations established by Archbishop Desmond Tutu and Mrs. Leah Tutu, led by yourself, will be mounting a public installation tomorrow in solidarity of the people of Palestine. Just talk to us about this installation and the message that you're trying to get out.
We as a legacy institutions have a responsibility to remind the world that the Arch was a fiercely committed person for fighting against any form of injustice, but particularly in the case of Palestine. He visited Palestine several times, particularly Gaza, and was appalled. But today, he would have been weeping. As we know, he was a man who really expressed his feelings. So we are going to take an installation of his statue from inside the building to the balcony during office hours from tomorrow onwards until the bombing, the abomination of the genocide in Palestine, in Gaza in particular, stops. We believe that's the least we can do, but to symbolically associate the Archbishop with the pain or the people of Palestine and Gaza in particular. We're going to drape him with the scarf, the Palestinian scarf. So people have they shouldn't be confused about what the message is. The message is that we believe the Archbishop's values compel us as the custodians of his legacy to remind the world we all need to stand up, because even the Israeli state, the people of Israel, stand to benefit if the bombing, the mowing down, and the humiliation of Palestinians were to stop. That's when, as a human family, we can come together and make the peace that is essential to justice and sustainability of human dignity and all of the values of Ubuntu that we live by.
Dr. Ramphele, I'd like your views, on just how some are seeing this action by South Africa as anti-Jewish or anti-Semitic. I mean, we've heard from the Justice Minister not too long ago saying that, what South Africa is anti-Israeli state and the actions that they're enforcing on the people of Palestine. Just talk to us about your views here and how you would then draw these distinctions.
I think it is a very cheap defense to say taking a state that's violating the rights of people, and we as South Africans know very well, with the very painful memory of the brutality of apartheid, we cannot be quiet in the face of the state of Israel's violation of the rights of Palestinians. So this is not anti-Jewish, it's not an anti-Jewish act. It is an anti-genocidal act by the state of Israel. And we are demanding, as our country is demanding, that this must stop. This abomination of starving children, women, civilians, and killing journalists. I heard the other day that more journalists have died since October the 7th than even during the Second World War or any other war that we have seen in the world. So this is not about being against the Jews. It is to remind the Jews that they are part of a human family and their future and security depends on them acting responsibly as members of the human family. Every life matters. The lives of Palestinians is as valuable as yours or mine and any other Jewish life.